So it's time for the prediction show for the Premier League, week 28. Yes, we haven't got many games left, and before we get to that, I'm just going to do a quick review of Europa Cup second leg, last 32 matches that were played last night, just to keep you up to date on that. Old Trafford first, my team, of course, comfortable 5-0 win for Man United against Bruges from Belgium, although they were helped by a ridiculous handball which led to a red card, and the first from the penalty spot converted by Bruno Fernandes, who's getting better by the game. Gallo, who was in from the start, he converted the second after a great chipped cross by Fernandes to Mata, who pulled it back to the penalty spot. And then McTominay scored a nice shot to make it 3, and then Fred chipped in with 2 before the end. 5-0 then. In Spain, Wolves, who were taking a 4-0 win in the first leg there, stuttered a bit, but they eventually went through. They lost the game though by 3-2. There was lots of excitement at the Emirates, however. Arsenal had won the first game in Greece by 1-0, but the Greeks levelled, and we got into extra time, and then Aubameyang scored a dramatic goal with an overhead kick to level the match on the night and put them ahead 2-1. But then a very, very late goal for the Greeks took them through on the away goal, so Arsenal are out. Other notable clubs that said goodbye to the Europa League were Celtic, Benfica went out, and Porto, the other side from Portugal. Not a good night for them at all. And Ajax also exited, done by Getafe. Okay, so we await the last 16 matches, and I did want to do a review of the Champions League, but I'm going to do that in a separate podcast. Let's get on to the Premier League then, and it's week 28, as I said. It gets started tonight on a Friday night game. Norwich, bottom club, are home to Leicester. Well, Norwich are plummeting towards the Championship, and it seems to be accelerating. They can't get anything, and I don't think they're going to get much against Leicester. Leicester have been a little bit off colour since the new year, but this is a great opportunity for them, and I'm taking them to win this game by 2-1. Now on Saturday we've got 5 games, 2 games on Sunday, and you're probably working out that that's 8 altogether. And that's because on Sunday we've got the first piece of silverware of the season up for grabs, and it's Aston Villa versus Manchester City in the EPL Carabao Cup final. So back to Saturday first, though. I will touch on that game in a second. Back to Saturday, the early kickoff is Brighton at home to Crystal Palace. Palace stumbled to a 1-0 last weekend. Brighton managed to carve out a draw at Bramall Lane. I'm expecting this to be a draw, a low-scoring one though, 1 each. Brighton 1, Palace 1. Now to Bournemouth. They're at home to Chelsea, and Bournemouth are 4th from bottom, so they are really in desperate straits. Chelsea, of course, got completely humbled by Bayern Munich on Wednesday, totally out of their depth, and it was a bit of a shock to the system. Based on that, I'm taking Bournemouth to beat Chelsea 2-1. I think the Chelsea kids, a bit shell-shocked, are going to need time to recover from that. So 2-1 for Bournemouth. Newcastle at home to Burnley. Newcastle stuttering at the moment. Burnley looking far more impressive, albeit they were a bit fortunate to rub Bournemouth's nose in the dirt thanks to VAR. I'm going for a Burnley win at St James's Park by 2-1. To West Ham, they're at home to Southampton. West Ham performed heroics at Anfield. Very unlucky to come away with a loss, losing by 3-2. Saints have looked reasonable of late, but West Ham, I think, are going to take that confidence into this game, and I'm expecting a high-scoring game, and I'm taking West Ham to win this one by 3-2. The last game on Saturday pits Watford, who are still second from bottom. Amazing that. I thought that Pearson had done such a great job, but I guess they were so far behind when he arrived. Second from bottom and a point under the third from bottom is a sort of success story. But they're at home to Liverpool, and Liverpool dancing their way to the the Premier League title. Watford could have done without this fixture, particularly although they might get some sort of encouragement if Klopp rests some of his stars. The only problem is that when Liverpool rest stars, the guys on the bench perform heroics, and I think that's what's going to happen. I'm taking Liverpool to win this game by 3-1. Sunday's two fixtures then. We start at Goodison Park, Everton at home to Manchester United. Well, United are really on a roll at the moment. They've won 3 in a row now. But Everton are a tough side to beat, and I'm going for a 1-1 draw here. And then at the New White Hart Lane, Spurs are at home to Wolves. Spurs are really, their form is looking poor, and Wolves are on a high. Traore scored a goal in Espanyol, and they've really picked up of late. I'm taking Wolves to beat Spurs by 2-1. So you will be aware that there are 4 teams not playing. Arsenal are not playing, and let's try and work out who the other team is who's not playing. It escapes me at the moment. Sheffield United, and of course the 2 teams that are going to compete for the first piece of silver, Aston Villa versus Manchester City. Well, Aston Villa's defence is woeful, and Manchester City, of course, delivered a knockout blow in the Bernabeu Stadium against Real Madrid on Wednesday, winning that game by 2-1 and coming from behind. So they're going to be really buoyant, and I can't see anything happening to suggest other than a Manchester City win. They're going to retain the trophy, and they're going to beat Villa by 4-1. Now, in this podcast, I'm also going to take a look at the FA Cup 5th round. Now, unusually, this is going to take place in midweek, and there are of course 8 fixtures, and I'm going to go through them now. They're going to be played on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Let's start with the first match then. Portsmouth at home to Arsenal. Arsenal, after that stuttering display at the Emirates against the Greeks, I think they're going to rebound here. They've got too much class, and I'm taking them to beat Portsmouth by 3-1. We've then got Chelsea at home to Liverpool. Really depends on what team comes out of the door for Liverpool. I'm expecting Klopp actually to keep the youngsters in, and as a result of that, I'm going for a Chelsea win by 2-1. Reading, they're into the last 16, and they're playing Sheffield United. I think Wildy will field a strong side, and I'm expecting Sheffield United to roll over Reading by 3-1. West Bromwich Albion, top of the Championship, heading back to the Premier League by the looks of things, are at home to struggling Newcastle. Newcastle in the last 16 for the first time in a long time. But I think the Baggies are going to be a little bit strong for them, and I'm taking, it's not really an upset this, I'm taking West Brom to beat Newcastle by 2-1. Leicester, they're at home to Championship side Birmingham. Comfortable win for the Foxes here by 3-0. Then let's move on to Sheffield Wednesday are at home to the holders Manchester City. So Manchester City, having just won some silverware, will have their eyes on some more, and I think they're going to be far too strong with their squad, even though there's going to be rotation, and I'm putting City down as a 3-1 win. Then Spurs, their only chance of a bit of glory for Mourinho, I think they're playing at home to Norwich. Norwich have been had a pick me up really by their cup run. I think it's going to grind to a halt. I'm expecting Son might be back by that, but anyway, I'm going for a Spurs win by 2-1. The last fixture is at I can't remember the name of the stadium, but it's Derby against Manchester United. Now this is an intriguing confrontation because it brings Wayne Rooney, who's playing for Derby now, into the action against his old club Manchester United. So certainly going to add a few people on the gate there. Intriguing contest. Given United's form though, I think they're going to have a little bit too much for Derby, whose form has not been great in the Championship. I'm taking Manchester United to win by 2-1. So, I got it wrong about the Champions League. Of course, there's another week to wait before we get the second legs. But that's my show for today. As for results, I struggle to get the results out on Sunday because I don't get to view the matches until late Sunday afternoon, and then I've got to record the audio, then I've got to get all the images to add to the video and try and get it complete and then upload. So that's why Monday is when I'll be doing that. So there'll be a show on Monday, and there will be another one on Tuesday. The Tuesday show will have the Sunday matches and also a snippet of what happened at Wembley. So that's your lot.